You know that moment when someone pushes you too far and you realize you've been holding the perfect card all along? Well, buckle up, because this Thanksgiving dinner turned into the most savage family gathering of 2024. My name is Marianne, I'm 34 years old, and this is the story of how my sister Clarissa learned that sometimes silence is the loudest weapon of all. The setup. Thanksgiving 2024, November 28th to be exact, the day that would go down in family history as the Thanksgiving Clarissa will never forget. Let me paint you a picture. There I was, standing in my mother's kitchen in Portland, Oregon, mashing potatoes and trying to ignore the knot forming in my stomach. Why? Because I knew exactly what was coming. For the past 6 years, every single family gathering had become Clarissa's personal stage to showcase her perfect life while simultaneously tearing mine apart. My sister Clarissa is 38, married to someone named Bradley. Yes, Bradley with a luxury car dealership and a receding hairline he refuses to acknowledge. They have 2 kids, live in a McMansion in the suburbs, and according to Clarissa, their life is essentially a Hallmark movie. Meanwhile, I'm the spinster of the family at 34, apparently withering away into eternal loneliness because I don't have a ring on my finger. The thing is, I'm a successful corporate lawyer. I make more money than Clarissa and Bradley combined. I have a gorgeous loft in downtown Portland. I travel internationally 4 times a year, and I'm genuinely happy with my life. But none of that matters to Clarissa. To her, my worth is measured by whether there's a man sitting next to me at the dinner table. The gathering begins. As family members started arriving, I watched them through the window. First came my younger brother Marcus with his wife Talia and their newborn. Then Aunt Delphine, who always brings that weird cranberry salad nobody eats but everyone pretends to love. Uncle Roger and his new girlfriend Sabrina, 20 years younger, definitely after his money, but hey, that's his business. And then the grand entrance. Clarissa's black Escalade pulled up, and she emerged like she was stepping onto a red carpet. Hair perfectly blown out, designer coat, those ridiculous oversized sunglasses, even though it was overcast. Bradley trailed behind, wrangling their kids, 7-year-old Brayden and 5-year-old Mackenzie, while carrying half of Target's toy section. "Marianne," my mother, Judith, called from the living room, "come greet your sister." I took a deep breath and walked into what I knew would be a battlefield. "Oh my God, Marianne," she squealed, air-kissing both my cheeks. "You look comfortable. Is that the same sweater you wore last year?" It wasn't, but that was classic Clarissa, creating false memories to make her digs seem more legitimate. "Good to see you too, Clarissa," I said evenly. "Happy Thanksgiving." The dinner from hell. We all settled around the table at 4 p.m. sharp. Mom had outdone herself. Turkey, stuffing, 3 types of potatoes, green bean casserole, rolls, and enough pie to feed a small army. The table looked beautiful, decorated with those fancy autumn centerpieces that Aunt Delphine had insisted on making. Everything was fine for exactly 12 minutes. "So, Marianne," she began, and I could hear the smile in her voice even before I looked up. "Are you still single? I mean, it's been, 6 years since Derek?" The table went quiet. Even little Mackenzie stopped trying to hide her vegetables in her napkin. Derek. She really went there. Derek was my ex-fiance, who left me 3 weeks before our wedding in 2018 because he had been having an affair with his personal trainer. It was devastating, humiliating, and something I had worked through in therapy for 2 years. "Yes, Clarissa," I said calmly, cutting my turkey. "I'm still single." "Oh, honey." She put her hand on her chest like she was genuinely concerned. "You know, 34 is still young enough. I mean, sure, fertility starts declining, but I have this friend, Stephanie, who didn't meet her husband until she was 36, and they were able to have 1 child. Just 1, but still." Bradley shifted uncomfortably. My father, Robert, suddenly became very interested in his mashed potatoes. Marcus and Talia exchanged glances. "That's great for Stephanie," I replied, my grip tightening on my fork. But Clarissa was just getting started. She had clearly been saving this up. "You know what I think your problem is?" she continued, not waiting for anyone to ask. "You're too focused on your career. Men find that intimidating. Bradley, don't you think career women can be intimidating?" Bradley looked like he wanted to disappear into his dinner roll. Look at us," she interrupted, gesturing between herself and Bradley. "I gave up my job at the boutique to focus on family, and now we're happier than ever. Right, honey?" Bradley made a noise that could have been agreement or indigestion. Hard to tell. "Some women are just meant to be mothers and wives," Clarissa continued, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. "And some women are meant for other things. There's no shame in that, Marianne. You're providing a valuable service to your clients. That's like being a mother to corporations." Aunt Delphine nearly choked on her wine. Uncle Roger was suddenly fascinated by the ceiling. My mother looked like she wanted to intervene but didn't know how. The tipping point. "Tell me, sis," she said, leaning forward conspiratorially, "when was your last date? And I don't mean those awkward coffee meets from dating apps. I mean a real date." This was my moment. I could have said so many things. I could have mentioned that I'd been casually seeing someone for the past 8 months. I could have pointed out that her perfect marriage included Bradley's 3-day fishing trips that suspiciously coincided with his secretary's vacation days. I could have mentioned that I'd overheard her crying on the phone to our mother about feeling trapped and invisible. But I didn't say any of that. Instead, I smiled and said, "You know, Clarissa, you're right. I have been really focused on work lately." She sat back victorious. Finally, she admits it. "See, that's your problem right there." "Actually," I interrupted gently, "I've been so focused because I was working on the biggest case of my career, the Henderson merger you might have heard about." My father's head snapped up. He follows business news religiously. "Wait," he said slowly, "the Henderson tech merger? That was you?" I nodded. "Senior counsel. It closed last week, November 22nd, to be exact." The table went completely silent. "How much?" Uncle Roger started to ask. "My bonus alone was $1.2 million, I said casually, taking a sip of wine. "Plus, they made me partner, so that's a nice salary increase too." Clarissa's face went through several emotions: confusion, disbelief, and then something ugly. "Well," she sputtered, "money isn't everything." "Oh, I agree completely," I cut her off smoothly, which is why I also decided to finally go ahead with something I've been planning for 2 years. Mom perked up. "What's that, sweetheart?" I pulled out my phone and opened my photos. This. I turned the screen around, showing them the picture I'd taken just 3 days ago. It was me standing in front of the most beautiful craftsman house, holding a set of keys and a champagne glass. "I bought Mom and Dad's dream house," I said quietly, "the one on Hawthorne Boulevard with the view of Mount Hood. Remember?" My mother's hand flew to her mouth. My father's eyes were suddenly wet. "The owners finally agreed to sell," I continued. "I closed on November 24th. I was going to wait until after dinner to tell you, make it a special announcement, but," I looked directly at Clarissa, "seemed like now was the right moment." "Marianne," my mother whispered, "that house is $3 million, Mom. And yes, I paid cash. Well, most of it. I wanted to invest the bonus wisely, and I thought, what better investment than making sure you two can retire comfortably in the house you've always dreamed of." The table erupted. Marcus was hugging me, Aunt Delphine was crying, Uncle Roger was demanding to see pictures. My parents were holding hands, both of them in tears. Clarissa sat frozen, her face pale. "But wait," I said, holding up my hand, "there's more." The twist. Remember how Clarissa always says I'm like a mother to corporations? Well, funny story, one of those corporations is Prestige Auto Group. You know, the parent company that owns Bradley's dealership. Bradley's face drained of color so fast I thought he might faint. And during my corporate overview last month, I noticed some interesting irregularities in the finances of the Portland location. Bradley, do you want to tell everyone what creative accounting is, or should I? Marianne, Bradley started, but I wasn't finished. And it turns out when you claim certain luxury cars as business expenses, but actually give them to family members, that's fraud. And when you inflate service charges and pocket the difference, that's embezzlement. The company's forensic accountants are very thorough. They've been watching the Portland dealership for 6 months. Clarissa's eyes were huge. What are you saying? I'm saying that Bradley's dealership is under investigation, has been since June. And Bradley, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but the company is planning to terminate your contract January 15th, 2025. I saw the paperwork last week. The room was so quiet you could hear the grandfather clock ticking in the hallway. But here's the thing, I continued, leaning back in my chair. I could have said something. I could have given you a heads up, Bradley. We're family, after all. But every time I thought about it, I remembered 6 years of Thanksgiving dinners, 6 years of being mocked for being single, 6 years of being told I'm not good enough because I don't have a husband and kids. You vindictive... Clarissa started to stand, but I held up my hand. Sit down, Clarissa. I'm not finished. There was something in my voice that made her sit. The truth is, I did try to help. I contacted Bradley in September, sent him an email from my work account, very professional, very discreet, suggesting he might want to get his books in order and consult with a lawyer. Bradley's head dropped to his hands. That was you? Did you reply? I asked him directly. Did you take any action? He shook his head miserably. No, I confirmed. Instead, you forwarded my email to Clarissa with the subject line, "Look at Marianne pretending to be important." I saw it. Clarissa CC'd it to her book club, making fun of me for trying to act like a real lawyer. Clarissa had the decency to look ashamed. Barely. So I stopped trying to help, I said simply. I let nature take its course. I did my job, I closed my case, I got my promotion, and I bought my parents their dream house. And Bradley is about to lose everything because he couldn't stop being a criminal. And you, Clarissa, were too busy mocking me to notice your husband was committing felonies. How could you? Clarissa's voice was shaking. We're family! The silence that spoke volumes. You're right, I said softly. We are family. Which is why, for 6 years, I sat at this table and took your abuse with grace. I smiled through your barbs about my age, my career, my life choices. I listened to you tell me I was worthless without a husband. I watched you parade your perfect life around like a weapon to beat me down. I stood up, gathering my plate. But you want to know the real kicker, Clarissa? The thing that's truly ironic about all of this? She stared at me, mascara starting to run. I'm not single. The room went silent again. I'd been dating someone for 8 months. His name is David Chen. He's a pediatric surgeon at OHSU. He's brilliant, kind, funny, and he treats me like I'm the most important person in the world. We're actually talking about getting engaged next spring. My mother gasped. Marianne, why didn't you tell us? Because, I said, looking directly at Clarissa. Because every time I came to a family event, you made it clear that my worth was only in being mocked. So I stopped sharing my life with you. All of you got the safe version of me, the single, career-obsessed lawyer that Clarissa could feel superior to. But you know what? I have an amazing life. I have a job I love, a man who adores me, friends who support me, and now I've given my parents the gift they've always dreamed of. I walked toward the kitchen, then turned back. Oh, and Clarissa, that boutique job you gave up, Mom told me you were fired for stealing from the register. And those fishing trips Bradley takes, his boat is a cover. He's been having an affair with Melissa from accounting for 2 years. I know because she's my client's sister, and she told me everything. The aftermath. Clarissa's face went through every color of the rainbow. Bradley looked like he was going to be sick.
The rest of the family sat in stunned silence. I have one more thing to say to the entire table. I love you all. You're my family, and I always will love you. But I'm done being the punching bag. I'm done being the cautionary tale, and I'm done pretending that Clarissa's cruelty is just sister banter. I grabbed my coat from the hallway. "Marianne, wait!" my mother called out. "Mom, Dad, I'll come by tomorrow with the house keys and all the paperwork. We can celebrate properly, just the three of us and Marcus. Maybe David will join if his shift ends early." "Please don't go," my father said, standing up. "I think I need to," I replied gently. "But I'll be back. Unlike some people, I don't abandon my family just because a dinner gets uncomfortable." As I reached the door, Clarissa's voice cut through the chaos. "You planned this," she said, her voice hollow. "This whole thing, you planned this revenge." I turned back one last time, and I smiled. A real smile, not the fake ones I'd been giving for 6 years. "No, Clarissa, I didn't plan anything. I just stopped protecting you from the consequences of your own actions. There's a difference." "But you knew. About Bradley. About everything." "Yes, I admit it. I knew. And I tried to help. But you were too busy mocking me to listen. That's not revenge, sis. That's just karma." The drive home. I sat in my car for a full 10 minutes before starting the engine, my hands shaking with adrenaline. My phone was already blowing up. Texts from Marcus. That was legendary. From Aunt Delphine. About damn time someone put that girl in her place. Even from Uncle Roger's girlfriend Sabrina. "You're my hero." But the one that made me tear up was from my mom. "I'm sorry we let it go on for so long. We should have stopped her years ago. Come for breakfast tomorrow. Dad wants to see the house. We love you so much, sweetheart." As I drove through Portland's streets, the city lights reflecting off the wet pavement from the evening rain, I felt something I hadn't felt at a family gathering in years. Peace. The real story behind the story. Here's what I didn't tell them at dinner. What I'm only sharing now. The Henderson merger was real. The bonus was real. The partnership was real. The house was real. David was real, though his name isn't actually David, and we've been together for 11 months, not 8. I shortened the timeline to make it more dramatic. But here's what else was real. For 6 years, I had been documenting every single insult, every cutting remark, every moment of humiliation. Not because I was planning some grand revenge, but because my therapist suggested it as a way to process the pain. She said writing it down would help me see the pattern, help me understand that this wasn't about me. It was about Clarissa's own insecurities. And somewhere along the way, I realized something. Clarissa wasn't mocking me because I was single. She was mocking me because she was terrified. Terrified that she had given up her dreams too early, terrified that she had settled, terrified that the life she had convinced herself was perfect was actually just ordinary. And there I was, living proof that there was another way to be happy. The truth about Bradley. The stuff about the dealership, partially true. There was an investigation, but it wasn't as dramatic as I made it sound. Yes, there were financial irregularities. Yes, he was probably going to lose his franchise, but I exaggerated my involvement. I wasn't senior counsel on that case. I just happened to know about it through office gossip. And the affair with Melissa? That was true. Completely, devastatingly true. But I only found out about it 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I spent those 2 weeks debating whether to tell Clarissa. In the end, the Thanksgiving disaster made the decision for me. What happened after? The next morning, I went to my parents' house as promised. They were waiting with coffee and pastries from their favorite bakery. We spent 3 hours going through the house paperwork, and my mother cried no less than 5 times. "You didn't have to do this," she kept saying. "I know, but I wanted to. You and Dad sacrificed so much to put all 3 of us through college. You worked double shifts, you drove clunker cars, you never took vacations. You deserve this." My dad, who rarely shows emotion, hugged me so tight I thought my ribs might crack. "We're so proud of you, Peanut. Not because of your success, but because of who you are." David, my real boyfriend, whose name I'm still not sharing for privacy reasons, came by later that afternoon. He'd heard the whole story over the phone the night before, and he brought flowers and Thai food. "Your sister sounds like a piece of work," he said diplomatically. "She's complicated, because despite everything, she's still my sister. Do you think she'll apologize?" Eventually, maybe, after the shock wears off and the marriage implodes. I was right about that. The apology. Sort of. 3 weeks later, on December 19th, 2024, Clarissa called me. I let it go to voicemail 3 times before finally answering. On the 4th call. "I'm sorry," she said immediately. No hello, no small talk. "I'm so sorry, Marianne. I didn't say anything. I just listened." "Bradley moved out last week," she continued, her voice thick with tears. "The dealership fired him. The affair was real. It's been going on for 3 years, not 2. He and Melissa are getting an apartment together in Vancouver. He says he wants joint custody, but we both know he'll see the kids twice a month at best." "I'm sorry, Clarissa," I said, and I meant it. Despite everything, hearing your sister's life fall apart is painful. "You're not," she said bitterly. "This is what you wanted." "No," I replied firmly. "This is what you created. I didn't make Bradley cheat. I didn't make him commit fraud. I didn't make you spend 6 years treating me like garbage. Those were all choices you
made." Silence on the other end. "But," I continued, softer now, "I am sorry you're hurting. I'm sorry your kids are caught in the middle. And I'm sorry that it took a disaster for us to have an honest conversation." "Why are you being nice to me?" she asked, confused. "After everything I did?" "Because you're my sister," I said simply, "and because I learned something from my therapist. Hurt people hurt people. You were hurting and you took it out on me. That doesn't make it okay, but it makes it understandable." She was quiet for a long moment. Then, "I was jealous of you. I've been jealous of you since we were kids. You were always smarter, more driven, more everything. And I thought if I could make you feel small, it would make me feel bigger." "Did it work?" I asked gently. "No," she whispered. "It just made me hate myself more." Thanksgiving 2025. Epilogue. It's been almost a year since the Thanksgiving incident, as it's now known in our family. A lot has changed. Clarissa is in therapy, real therapy, 3 times a week. She got a job at a real estate office and is slowly rebuilding her life. Bradley sees the kids every other weekend, and Melissa is already cheating on him. Karma, as they say, is undefeated. My parents moved into their dream house in March 2025. They hosted Easter there, and it was beautiful. Clarissa came, and she was different, quieter, more thoughtful. She even apologized to me again in front of the whole family. "I was cruel," she said, looking me in the eye. "I was insecure and mean, and I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of it." I accepted her apology, not because I forgot what she did, but because I decided to stop letting it define our relationship. As for me and David, still not his real name, still protecting privacy, we got engaged on Valentine's Day 2025. We're planning a small wedding for next fall. Clarissa is invited. She asked if she could be a bridesmaid, and after a long conversation with my therapist, I said yes. Because here's the thing I learned from all of this. Revenge might feel good in the moment, but forgiveness is what actually sets you free. The message I want you to take away. If you're sitting there thinking, "I wish I could do this to my toxic family member," let me stop you right there. What I did at Thanksgiving wasn't brave. It was a culmination of 6 years of swallowed pain finally erupting. Was it satisfying? In the moment, yes. But the aftermath was complicated, messy, and painful for everyone involved. The real victory wasn't in exposing Clarissa's lies at the dinner table. The real victory was everything that came before. Building a life I loved, achieving success on my own terms, finding a partner who valued me, and refusing to let someone else's opinion define my worth. If you have a Clarissa in your life, someone who constantly tears you down, who uses family gatherings as an opportunity to make you feel small, here's my advice. First, set boundaries. You don't have to tolerate abuse just because someone shares your DNA. Second, build your life anyway. Don't wait for their approval or validation. Don't put your happiness on hold hoping they'll change. Live your best life despite them. Third, get therapy. Seriously, my therapist saved my life. She helped me understand that Clarissa's behavior was never about me. It was always about her own insecurities. And finally, remember this: the best revenge isn't exposing someone. The best revenge is being so genuinely happy with your life that their opinion of you becomes irrelevant. Where we are now. It's November 2025 now. Thanksgiving is next week, actually. November 28th, just like last year. Funny how the date lands the same sometimes. We're doing it at my parents' new house this year. Clarissa offered to bring dessert. Marcus and Talia are bringing their baby, who's now a year old and getting into everything. Aunt Delphine is bringing her weird cranberry salad because some traditions die hard. David is coming too. He'll meet most of the extended family for the first time. He's nervous, which I find endearing. "Are they going to grill me?" he asked last night. "Probably," I admitted. "But don't worry, after last year, you'll seem incredibly boring in comparison." That's a compliment, by the way. He laughed. "Should I wear a tie?" "Absolutely not. This is a flannel and jeans family." As I write this, I'm sitting in my loft in downtown Portland, looking out at the city lights. There's a glass of wine next to my laptop, David asleep in the bedroom, and I can hear the soft sound of rain on the windows. My life isn't perfect. I still have hard days at work. My relationship with Clarissa is better, but will probably never be easy. I'm planning a wedding, which is way more stressful than anyone tells you. And sometimes late at night, I still think about all those years of family dinners where I felt invisible and worthless. But you know what? I'm happy. Really, genuinely happy. Not in spite of everything that happened, but maybe in some strange way because of it. Because sometimes you have to blow up your life to rebuild it better. Sometimes you have to speak your truth even when it's ugly. And sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is refusing to be small just to make someone else feel big. The final thoughts. So yes, I said nothing at that Thanksgiving dinner until I said everything. And it changed everything. Was it worth it? Ask me on good days and I'll say absolutely. Ask me on bad days, when I miss the simple dynamics of before, as dysfunctional as they were, and I'll say, I'm not sure. But here's what I know for certain. I refuse to spend another Thanksgiving being someone's punching bag. I refuse to make myself smaller to make someone else feel bigger. And I refuse to apologize for being successful, single, married, childless, a parent, or anything else that someone else has decided makes me less than. Your worth is not determined by your relationship status. It's not determined by your job, your house, your car, or how many kids you have. Your worth is inherent, innate, and unchangeable. And anyone who can't see that, well, that says a lot more about them than it does about you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. May your turkey be moist, your family be kind, and your boundaries be respected. And if they're not, well, you know where to find me. I'll be the one eating pie in my car in the driveway, texting my therapist.